Hello everyone, welcome. This is the first of our critiquing sessions. This is the first time I'm doing this. This is the first time I've ever done this. It's all an experiment. I'll be looking at your diagnostic exercises. I think a lot of the problems that I saw in the diagnostic exercise can be addressed if you watch the first lecture video on the fundamentals of drawing. So pay attention to the creation of cylinders, the creation of forms, how you measure your forms. So use sighting techniques, use comparative measurements. Comparative measurements means looking at certain parts and comparing them to other parts. So you can get the height or the width of these parts. So when you're drawing forms, proportion is very important, and you can only gauge proportion if you're looking at a model by making these comparative measurements. And that means looking at plumb, looking at level, looking at width, height, and then marking off at the page. So a couple of things I want to point out. One, maximize your drawings on the page. Sometimes masyadong maliit yung drawing, sometimes masyadong malaki. That's why you have to mark off the top and bottom of your drawing immediately. First thing you do, plot out the general composition and then go to specifics. Huwag kayo drawing kagad. Kaya minsan wala sa gitna, minsan masyadong maliit. That's the first thing you should do. When you've marked off yung top and bottom, find the midpoint. And then from there, keep subdividing. Mas lalo kung kumukopya kayo from a model. It makes it easier to see, to compare your drawing with the photo reference. And it trains your eyes. It trains yung hand-eye coordination nyo. Because learning or seeing proportion is fundamental to drawing. I want to point out that you have to learn the rules first before you break them. So, if you look at the internet, iba-iba na yung proportion ng mga drawing, iba-iba na yung style. You'll get to that soon enough, okay? You'll get to do whatever you want soon enough. But first, you have to learn the rules. How can you break proportion if you don't even know what's the correct proportion? That's one thing. Maximize your drawing, proper proportion, take comparative measurements always. Don't rush into a drawing. Plot out the boundaries, look at the angles, look at the horizontals, the verticals, okay? So these are the things that I want to emphasize, and I will keep emphasizing as long as I see these problems with drawings. So I'll be looking at yung exercises. I probably can't do this every time. I can't look at all 25 and do videos for all 25. So I've selected just a few, and for each plate I'll keep selecting a few plates and exercises to critique. Pero yun nga, it'll be limited because it takes so much time. Pero your individual drawings, I'll have comments on them and draw overs. I'm doing these videos so you can see the general comments, and if you see them in your drawings, you can apply them. So sorry I can't do this for everyone because of time limitations. But I hope you stick around and view the critiques that I do for some of the exercises. Okay, let's get to it. Thank you very much. Let's look at this drawing here. So, from this drawing, makikita natin have to look at the proportions. Let's take a look at the proportions here. So, okay. Let's say, okay, let's find the midpoint. The midpoint is approximately here, okay? And now I'm just measuring it, seeing kung ano yung things will work at this point, and this should be what you are doing as well. Okay. So from here, I'm taking a look at this. From this picture, I'm seeing that this line is almost at the midpoint of this whole segment. Not exactly in the middle, pero medyo malapit-lapit na. And from here, siguro the scap is around 1/3, somewhere like that. Okay. So this is important. You're measuring things, you're figuring things out. Okay. So once you've done these measurements, um, let's take a look at how it was translated here. So looking at this whole picture, okay, you have an idea of where you should put certain elements. Okay, let's see what happened here. Okay, immediately we're seeing some obviously discrepancies. Okay. Uh, the midpoint somewhere here. Okay, based sa drawing na to, if I were to take this as the whole height of the bottle, the midpoint should be here. And if you look at the picture, it doesn't correspond immediately. Okay? The width based sa photo siguro nandito. Okay? So immediately, looking at the measurements, it's not correct. Okay? Now let's see the top portion. Midpoint is around here. Okay, we're seeing a discrepancy with that. Okay, so it's about being able to measure with your eyes and using your pencil to do that. Okay, so immediately we're seeing problems based on this. Where is the neck of the bottle? So go here. Okay. We're also seeing problems with the curvature of the bottle. Now, with this picture, there is a slight distortion sa sides. Like I said, you can either copy that or you can deviate from it. I think there was some ambiguity as to what to do in this drawing. And if you see dito sa picture na sa reference photo, the ground is here, pero dito sa drawing hindi. It's as if the drawing it's as if the drawing is attached to the wall, which shouldn't be the case. It should be a freestanding object.
From this photo,
So mukhang the eye level is pretty high up. It's the camera was shooting down. So if you look at the photo, if we're just basing it on the photo, the ground line is very near that. The ground almost hits the bottom curvature of that label. Medyo lagpas na ng konti. So, if we're going to copy that somewhat closely,
Okay, so makita nyo yung difference.
Okay, so yun ang difference.